This is an overview of the Content tabs widget by Unlimited Elements for Elementor. Without no more further ado, let's get started. To get started, I'm going to search for the Content tabs in the Widgets pane inside of Elementor. Drag and drop that into my Elementor canvas, and let's get started. So over here, these are the basic settings, and they're split into general, layout, responsive, connected widget settings, and items. I'm going to take you over each part of this and show you all the unique settings that we've added to the tabs widget. Since tabs are also included in the basic Elementor setup, you're probably asking yourself, why would I need different type of tabs? So first of all, as you can see, these are designed a little bit differently. And inside of the styling options, there are a lot more options to style these. So that would be maybe the first reason why you would choose these kind of tabs. And I'll show you all kinds of design options that you can use as we go along inside of the video. But another reason why you would maybe want to use these is, for example, the set URL hash. Now, I'm just going to turn that on and go into items. And over here, each item has an option to add a tab ID. So over here, I'm going to write lorem. And in the next one, I'm going to write ipsum. And what this will do, it will add to our URL once we preview the page. Let's take off the preview URL and just show the regular URL. And when I click on a tab, what that does, it adds over here the ID. And what this is good for, if you're going to link to the tabs from an external URL, you can give this copy paste this URL and just link to that specific tab item. Now that's a really unique feature. So that's one of the features that we've added to our tabs widget. Going along, as you can see inside of layout, you can set this to horizontal or vertical, which is really awesome and cool. Another unique feature is that you can make the tabs equal. What that means is that instead of being aligned over here to the left, we can actually make all of the tabs equal. And this is kind of hard in the regular Elementor tabs widget. So that's a really cool, unique feature. Another cool, unique feature is that you can start collapsed. What this means is that the content underneath won't show unless a user clicks one of the tabs. So you could kind of like design these as buttons, and only when a user clicks on it, he will see the content underneath. So those are some unique features over here that we have in the content tabs. Another reason why you would want to use this is because you can add more content inside of the tabs themselves. So let's just turn on all of the parts over here and discuss what they do. So as you can see over here, we have an option for showing an image, a title, the text, and a button, which is not included in the regular Elementor version. Over here in the image layout, I'm going to choose on the side, and now you can see that the image is on the side of the content, which is really awesome. It's taking up 50%, so let's move that to 30%, and now we have a nice looking layout. Over here in items, I'm just going to start filling in the content. So let's upload some images over here and give each one a name, just so we can start seeing how this looks and how it adapts to different types of content. So first one is for bird. I'm going to write over here bird. Let's do the next one. fox. And the last one, I think it was a hamster. Let's get that one inside. Yeah, hamster. Okay, so awesome. We got our content set up, and you can see that was really fast, and it's adapting perfectly. I mean, you can see all the different types of content inside. You can link each one over here inside of the items. You can see that you have a link. So that's pretty awesome as well. Now, the next part I wanted to show is that you can add remote controls. So over here in Connect Widget Settings, I'm going to enable remote connection and enable sync. The first thing I'm going to show is the remote controls, and then later on I'll show you how we use the sync function. So over here, I'm just going to add another column. So we got this one in one column, and then we have another column over here. We can play around with the width of the columns if we want to. And I'm going to add another widget. The other widget that I'm going to add is called remote arrows. So I'm going to drag and drop that inside. And now these arrows can navigate the tab items inside of the content tabs widget. Look how awesome that is. And as we have this option, you can also add all sorts of different kind of remote controls depending on your use case, on the usability of this. So we have a lot of options. That's just another example. I mean, I just added bullets as well, just to show you guys. So that's really awesome. The next part, what I want to show you, is that we can actually show other content or another image outside of the tabs themselves. So to do that, I'm going to turn off inside of the layout the image over here. So let's turn the image off. So we have only the content showing. Let's also turn off the title. Don't need that right now. And I'm going to add in another column over here, I'm going to add another widget. Now this works with all the item-based widgets that support remote controls, and we have dozens of those. So this is just an example of what you can do, but it's actually unlimited, as we call ourselves unlimited. So I'm gonna push over here a content slider, and then I'm going to change the number of items to 1. And over here, just doing it really quickly, I'm going to turn off everything except for the image. So now we have an image over here. Inside of the items, I'm going to synchronize the items. So each item in the carousel is going to have a corresponding item inside of the tabs. So what we want to do is to sync or synchronize between this image and the items over here. So I'm going to give them the same titles, and we have bird, and then we have the fox, and then we have the hamster. So got that set up almost. Doing it as quickly as possible. Awesome. Once we've done that, again, we're going into Connect Widget Settings, and I'm going to enable Sync. You're going to want to make sure that the sync group is the same for both these items that you want to sync, and that the number of items is the same. So right now, if I'm going to update the page, and I will preview to see it in the front end, what you guys can see is now these two are synced together. Look how amazing that looks and how it works nicely. And you can sync an unlimited number of widgets together as long as they have the same number of items and the same sync group. You can even add a background slider. In our demo, you can see that as well. So that's the sync function. To wrap this tutorial up, I just want to go over the responsive settings, because a lot of you guys ask me every single video, what about responsive? How does that look in responsive? So first of all, you can assure yourself that all our widgets are responsive, and we always think about that. Elementor is a really good tool for making responsive designs because it's practically automatic. I mean, these columns are going to collapse, and then that's it. So another really awesome thing over here is the responsive settings. And as you can see, by default, this is on. You could also decide to turn it off, and then the tabs will remain as a tab layout inside of mobile. But let's see what happens if we keep this on. I'm going to go into responsive settings, and as you can see, now these are set up as an accordion. And of course, we have all the different styling. So for example, if I would want an active accordion background, I could set that as well and set the text to white. So now when I'll preview the page over here in mobile view, let's do that, you can see that it has that black background and a white text. So that's looking awesome. And one last thing actually that I just remember that I wanted to show you guys, and I forgot at first, is that you could add a graphic element to each item over here, which is really, really cool. So let's check that out. And actually, I'm going to do something that I didn't think that I'm going to show in this video, but right now I thought of the idea and I think it's going to look awesome. So over here we have graphic element. We can turn this on, and what it does, it just adds a graphic element to our tab. Of course, you can set this to be on the side, underneath, or whatever. But we have all sorts of graphic elements. So that was the icon type. So you could choose an icon. You can also give these numbers, which is really cool. And you can even add an image. So let's actually try to give the same image that we have. Awesome. So that's looking pretty cool. Let's do the other two. So Fox. Let's go over here to graphic element. I'm going to change that to an image. Let's put over here the Fox image. And cool. Let's do the last one really, really quickly, so you guys won't tell me this video is too long. I'm always scared of what you guys are going to say. I want to make everyone happy, right? So here we go, hamster. And ta-da! Look how cool that is. I mean, never saw something so cool. And I just thought about that right now. So it's a really awesome, cool feature, these graphic elements that you can add. Let's even maybe, you know what? Let's check it in responsive. You're probably asking yourself, how does this look in responsive, right? So you can see that the graphic element moves to the left side over here. So awesome. Let's click update just to save before I show you guys this. So over here we go. That's how it looks like. And of course you can space out everything. So for example, if I'll go into style, graphic element, and we have all sorts of size options and stuff like that. I mean, this is the size one. So you can play around with the size, make it however you want, add some spacing if you need to. Last thing I wanted to show with the content tabs is how they can actually navigate between different sections. Why would you want to do that or load templates inside of the content tabs is if you're looking for a really, really advanced looking type of layout. So I'm just going to show this kind of quickly. I'm just going to start designing a section over here. And I'm going to put all sorts of elements inside of the section that you wouldn't see usually inside of a content tabs widget. Just to kind of give you an example of what you can do with this. So I've added an icon list over here. Let's add a maps widget over here. And we have like sort of a kind of unique looking kind of section over here that's going to be navigated by tabs eventually. So this is going to be the first one. And I'm just going to give it a different kind of background color because I want to show you guys really the difference between these two. So let's just change the text over here to white and everything over here to white. And I think we're all set up. So this is going to be the map section. That's the first one. And I'm going to make another section that's going to be for the video. So let's do a video one. And over here, let's delete this map. And add a video. Give this section a different color. Awesome. So we have these two. Let's add our tabs on the top. We want the content tabs one, so that's the unlimited elements one. And now what we're going to try to achieve is that when these tabs are switching, this content underneath will change and replace the content over here. So to do that, we need to first of all give an ID to each of these sections. So I'm going into the Advanced tab. I'm going to call this one Map, and I'm going to call the second one Video, just because that makes sense, of course. And over here, I'm going into the items. We don't need the last item. We have only two. Let's jump into the first one, give it a title. And instead of content type content, what I'll do is use element ID. And over here, I'm going to write the word map. Awesome. The next one, same thing, change the element ID, and I'm going to write video. Now, as you can see, that when I've exited the editing, now the video section is not over here anymore. There isn't any content under the widget except for the section. And now I can navigate between these two, and it's going to navigate my sections. It's going to toggle the sections. So you can add as many of these as you want, and this way you can toggle content on your page in a really unique and advanced way. I hope you guys kind of understand the possibilities behind this right now. So that's a really awesome feature, and I hope you like it. So thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.